Please go ahead and have a seat. Well, good afternoon, graduates, parents, family, friends, and Norris community. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the commencement exercises of the Norris graduating class of 2019. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Nate Segerman, and I have the distinct privilege of serving as the Norris High School principal. Graduates, you made it. To the next starting line, at least. Yes, it seems that like today's fast-paced world, everything is a race. No doubt some of you may even be wondering how fast we can get through this so you can start celebrating with family, friends, and food, and not necessarily in that order. But I would offer you some encouragement to take a breath, to slow down, and enjoy this moment. Life is, after all, made up of one amazing, unique, and all too often fleeting moment after another. Certainly from a parent's perspective, over the past 13 years of education, there have been many of those amazing moments. And then there's maybe been some of those moments too. But each moment, the good and the ones we won't talk about today, have brought you here. They've become a part of your story. And though the temptation can be to dwell on those past moments, or be anxious about the ones that are to come, in doing so, you risk missing the one that you're in. If I could give you one final piece of homework, and yes, you're getting homework at graduation, it would be to be present in each moment. Make them count. Choose in the moments that you're given to be fearless, grateful, and kind. Make each moment better for the people that you share them with simply because you are part of them. And just to be clear, by share, I don't mean Snapchat. I have no doubt that the great things will come from this graduating class. I don't honestly think that anybody who has ever spoken at a graduation really doubts whether the graduates before them will go on to do great things or not. But my hope for you, Norris class of 2019, would be that you are a graduating class who takes time to stop, to be present in your moments of joy, sorrow, and success, so you don't end up like Dunder Mifflin's Andy Bernard and feel like, I wish there was a way to know we were in the good old days before we've actually left them. Congratulations on your achievements, and best of luck in your next adventure. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people. First, to the parents and grandparents of our graduates. Well done. And thank you for your years of support and partnership. We appreciate you entrusting our school with your students each day. Parents and grandparents of our graduates, if you would please stand. And seniors, please join me in recognizing all of our Titan parents and grandparents. Next, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our staff at Norris. From the teachers to bus drivers, custodians to paras, nurses, secretaries, and all of our support staff. Thank you for, one, making my job a little bit easier, and far more importantly, for the countless hours of dedication to seeing these students succeed. If you are a staff member at Norris, I invite you to please stand and be recognized. We also have some special guests in attendance with us today, and to introduce them, please help me welcome Norris Superintendent Dr. John Skretta.
Greetings, Norris. It is my pleasure to greet you at today's commencement for the outstanding soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2019. As your superintendent, it is my privilege to introduce you to the Norris Board of Education members in attendance today. Our board exemplifies servant leadership through their commitment to the Norris schools. Welcome the following: Board President Patty Bensinger, Board Vice President Larry Grosshands, Board Secretary Craig Gaina, Board Treasurer Jim Craig, Board Member Jim Kruger, and Board Member Jim Devine. Please recognize them for their service to our Norris students. and our other members of the administrative team in attendance today, besides our high school principal, Mr. Segerman, and our assistant principal, Mr. Hutzler, include Brenda Tracy, Director of Curriculum and Special Education, Brian Moshman, Assistant Superintendent, Chris Morrison, Intermediate School Principal, and Dr. Jenny Peening, Elementary Principal. Please stand. Give them a round of applause. All right, it's also my unique pleasure today to recognize the man who will be my successor, who will become the next Norris superintendent, effective July 1, but you can already email him your questions now. Please welcome Dr. John Schwartz to the Norris School District. I want to offer some acclaim to those of you in attendance who are alum. Just by a show of hands, put a hand in the air and hold it in the air if you're a Norris grad, and keep it up there for a minute, because I want to point out to the class of 2019, when you look around and you see some of those hands in the air, recognize that you too are soon going to be a part of perpetuating a legacy of achievement that has brought many great Titans grads back to the Norris community to keep our schools and community strong. Give it up for the Norris alum. With us today are the parents of Brianna Titterington, Eric and April Jensen. Brianna was a member of the class of 2019 who tragically passed away in a car accident a year ago in March. They're here today, so if you see April and Eric, give them a hug and a hello from Norris. Finally, let us recognize those today who are veterans of the armed forces or in active service in any branch of the military. If you could please stand up and be recognized by this crowd. We want to thank our veterans for their service to this great nation. It's now my privilege to hand it off to our high school assistant principal, Mr. Charlie Hutzler.
Well, good afternoon, class of 2019 and guests. My name is Charlie Hutzler, and I have the honor of serving the Norris School District as the high school assistant principal and activities director. It is my privilege today to introduce our three student speakers, each of whom exemplify excellence in academic achievement and success in activities at Norris High School. With their talents, these individuals have competed and performed at local, state, and even national levels as Norris Titans, representing our school, our district, and our community with class and character. As I call up each speaker, I'll share a bit of background about them. And our first is Megan Essink. If you could make your way up, please, Megan. Megan is planning on attending Northwest Missouri State University next year. She plans to study agronomy. Now, Megan's favorite memories at Norris involve playing 4 years of soccer, where her teammates became like family for her. Megan has also been a leader in our FFA program, serving as chapter president this year. Megan says she is proud to be a Titan because of the history and legacy of success in our activities and athletics and academics. And we are pleased to have Megan as part of that legacy now. Please help me welcome Megan Essink.
Good afternoon. I'm Megan Essink, and I'm honored to be here with all of you to celebrate what we have been waiting for many, many long years. I know senioritis hit lots of us real hard these last few months, but now we finally arrived at the day we thought would never come. Many of us began our journeys as Titans 13 years ago, and many joined partway. Our time as Titans does not end today, however. We will always be Titans, even as we go into college, into the workforce, or into the military. Though we may become Huskers, Tigers, Prairie Wolves, or Bearcats, we will never lose our identity as Titans. That's one of the things that makes Norris so special. What we'll remember in 10, 20, even 50 years goes beyond the classroom. We're going to remember the conversations and laughter in the hallways, how much everyone here loves homecoming, and our time in extracurricular activities. All our experiences together have given us something in common. We've stuck together through our successes and failures, through the tough times, and the times we laughed so hard we cried. It's important to cherish those memories, but today is also about looking forward to our futures. People have been asking us for years what we want to be when we grow up. We may have answered a celebrity, a cowboy, a doctor, or even, I plan to marry rich. For me, it was a princess, then the next Taylor Swift, then a professional soccer player, an FBI agent, book editor, and now a plant breeder, I think. You may or may not have a plan for your career, and that's okay. We're only teenagers, so how are we really supposed to know what we want to do with the rest of our lives? I'm not sure how to answer that, but I know that all of us will find our own answer eventually. Even if it takes a lot of time, a few switches of your major, and finding things you don't want to do to figure it out. Whatever you decide to do, always stay kind, confident, and ready to learn. The Greek fabulist Aesop said, "The level of our success is limited only by our imagination, and no act of kindness, however small, is wasted." This class has what it takes to be successful. The class of 2019 is smart, kind, talented, and driven. Though we may be called the forgotten class, we're anything but. I've never really understood that title because this class is full of incredible people. Everyone has their strength, and we all have potential to impact the world in a positive way. Today, we step out of the bubble we've been in for 13 years. It seems like we figured this chapter of life out, so naturally it's time to shake it up and move on. As you move on to your next chapter in life, make the most out of it. Learn all you can, do what you love, and be kind to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Our next senior speaker is Kate Millington. Kate, if you could make your way up, please. This fall, Kate will be attending the University of Nebraska at Lincoln to study sociology, where she plans to also work toward earning a master's in social work. Kate's favorite high school memories revolve around being on the speech team, making friends from other schools, in addition to friendships made with fellow Titan talkers. Speech is where Kate has made quite a name for herself, actually, earning not just one or two state titles in her top competition category of persuasive speaking, but this year she made it a three-peat. Kate says she's proud to be a Titan because of our tight-knit community that is like family. Please help me in welcoming three-time state champion Kate Millington to the stage.
I would like to start out by saying that it is such an honor to have this opportunity to speak today, and thank you to every teacher, administrator, and parent that has pushed our class to be the best students and people that we can be. High school would not have been the same without such dedicated adults who truly care for every single student here. Today, as I look out into the audience at my classmates, it takes me back to the many, many years that we've shared. I've been at Norris since kindergarten, as have many of my classmates. And when I look at each and every graduate in this room, I think about how the experiences we've shared have shaped us into the people we are now and the people that will become in the future. Even all the way back in elementary school, when kids still tried to eat glue and could hardly read, we were already being shaped into the people that we are now. Although we thought we were all grown up by the time we hit 4th grade, that was nothing compared to when we got to 8th grade. Now, I know that everyone, myself included, would rather not discuss middle school ever again, but it was a necessary part of our development. Mostly because, in retrospect, it teaches you exactly how you shouldn't act. Thankfully, almost all of us are out of our middle school phase by now. So, as we're about to leave high school forever, we can reflect back on the things that we've learned from our 13 years of school. We may not realize it now, but every classmate and every teacher we've met has had a profound impact on our futures. Personally, from my classmates, I've learned that you don't have to change yourself to make people like you, and that laughing will always make you feel better, especially if it's in the middle of a test and you have no idea what you're doing. From my teachers, I've learned that to be a good student, you have to actually want to learn, and more importantly, that it's okay not to be perfect. Since freshman year, I've watched classmates make themselves actually sick because they were so worried about an important meet or game or their grades. So as we begin our venture into the real world, I want to remind my classmates and friends that as American author George Will stated, the pursuit of perfection often impedes improvement. So while we are nothing if not a high-achieving, hard-working class, all we can really ever do is our best, and that's okay. Don't let the idea of being perfect get in the way of you reaching your full potential. Another lesson I want my classmates to keep in mind is that you never know how long you have. So don't let fear of rejection or embarrassment stop you from doing something that you'll regret if you don't. I learned this lesson from someone who unfortunately is not here today. I know that this is a celebration of our graduation, but I would be remiss not to mention a person who has had such an impact on every person in this class. Brianna was one of the most fearless people I've ever met. She was never afraid to speak her mind. It's heartbreaking that she isn't here to walk across the stage today, but I hope that we are all able to honor her memory by being a little more fearless every day. So to the class of 2019, thank you for making high school an experience that I will never forget. I've come to care about each and every one of you and wish you the best of luck in whatever you do. All of you can accomplish whatever you set your minds to. Now, as you go out into the world, remember to not only be fearless and flawed, but to always be yourself. Because as the well-known philosopher Kim Kardashian once said, at the end of the day, life is about being happy, being who you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Our last speaker this afternoon is Jacob Mason. Jacob will be continuing his education at Nebraska Wesleyan University, where he will double major in history and political science. A favorite Norris memory of Jacob's is winning the Southwest Showdown show choir competition his sophomore year. And he's proud to have been elected as the 78th governor of the Cornhusker Boys State. Jacob has taken on the challenge of several dual credit courses during his time with us, which highlights the opportunity and drive to succeed here in the supportive Norris community that Jacob shares as the reasons he's proud to be a Norris Titan. Governor, it's all yours.
Administration, Board of Education, faculty, friends, family, students, and fellow graduates. I have some bad news. Yes, this is some bad news. I know this may not be the time or the place, but I must confide in you. And all of you parents out there, pay attention. You see, I was raised by a baby boomer and a Gen Xer for the first 18 years of my life. You may be wondering, why is this bad news? But those baby boomers and the Gen Xers that followed, they are the ones responsible for the millennial generation. Yes, those millennials, we all know them. The ones who have been stereotyped as workers in the gig economy, who live on their mother's couches and complain about the real world being too tough. Now that our parents are all second-guessing every decision they've made raising us, it's time for the good news. Graduates, we are not millennials. We are the beginning of what they have so lovingly named Generation Z. Whether that means that they've run out of names or that we're simply the last generation before the apocalypse remains to be seen. At any rate, we are the future, and that future is bright. It is bright because we have learned from the mistakes of past generations and because of the wonderful education we have received here at Norris. Forbes magazine reports that we are unlike previous generations in many ways. While the job-hopping millennials value their individuality and even their avocado toast, we value hard work and personal success. Unlike the baby boomers who valued religion and family the most, we emphasize the value of a stable career. The millennial generation grew up in an era of unprecedented peace in the United States. No major recession or terrorist attack rocked their childhood lives. Most of us lived to experience 9/11, even though we don't remember it. I can tell you that I watched it live on television in my living room as a 1-year-old, but it was learning about it in the classroom and reliving the crash of the towers year after year that truly made an imprint. As elementary students, we witnessed the Great Recession, which brought the worst economic conditions America had seen since the Great Depression. In this tragedy, we gained strength. For those of us lucky enough, Mom and Dad simply tightened the purse strings and were in denial at the sight of their investments. For others, mortgages suddenly became due, and student debt payments might as well have become a climb up Mount Everest. And this may all seem sad and depressing, but I tell you that it is not. Because Forbes also reports that only 11% of Gen Zers are willing to take on debt to finance their higher education. Do you know how big of a deal that is? 11%. That's it. In the time span of just one generation, America has gone from a nation with over $1.5 trillion in student loan debt to one where almost 90% of current high school graduates are committed to remaining debt-free. That is astounding, and it speaks to the larger picture of our lives. We all want to be successful. As I look over our graduating class today, I see young men and women who aspire to become doctors, engineers, lawyers, teachers, scientists, coaches, musicians, and maybe even a politician. Yikes. You see, though, we are all one in our victory because we truly are stronger together. As children, we experienced hardship that reverberated through all corners of American life. We are the lucky ones, however, because we grew up watching the mistakes of those who came before us. It is this foresight and the valuable Norris education that we have received that will propel us to new heights. Speaking of foresight, I would like to take a moment to thank our lovely class officer team for picking out these beautiful Navy graduation robes. You know, Navy is one of my favorite colors, and I'm thankful that we all look great today. I am also thankful that these robes have long sleeves so that there are no shoulders in the audience to distract me while I am giving this speech. Besides these robes, I am also thankful for the exceptional education I have received here at Norris. I have spent the majority of my formative years here, but moved to Northeast Iowa for 3 years, from 4th to 7th grade. I lived in a small town of 7,000 people that was wanting for drive and ambition. This was reflected in their educational system, where I asked for homework because there was nothing to do after school, and where students were first introduced to the concept of fractions in the 5th grade. It was also a place where I was bullied for aspiring to higher things. Graduates, we are lucky to live in a community and be a part of a school district that values excellence. And if there's one thing I can give to you, my fellow graduates, as someone who had the chance to experience a subpar school district, it is this: never doubt the power of good teachers, of good parents, and of good classmates. Teachers, on behalf of the class of 2019, thank you. Thank you for your hard work, your tireless drive to help students, and your dedication to education. Your willingness to help students, especially those who do not excel in your subject area, is exemplary. To Mrs. Price in particular, thank you for your words of wisdom, which were always shouted across the senior hallway on test day as nervous calc students followed you to your room. You'll be fine. To our parents, who have always pushed us to do better, thank you for your support. Although we may not realize it yet, we owe you a great debt. Finally, to my fellow classmates, thank you. It's been an awesome ride, and I can't imagine a better senior class to end it with. Today, we leave Norris ready to change the world for the better. Let us always remember that hard work will take us far, and that sometimes, but only sometimes, it's all right to roll up those sleeves and show a little shoulder. Thank you.
Let's have another round of applause for all of our class teachers. right, and Jacob was very prepared. Next, our senior Titan singers will be singing for us More Like Love under the direction of Mr. Wes Hansmeyer. Seniors, please come forward. part of our graduation tradition, many of the students in our graduating class have additional adornments to their regalia to recognize the high level of academic excellence they have achieved at Norris. Students wearing a red ribbon with a bronze medal are recognized as graduating cum laude and have achieved a grade point average of 3.50 to 3.749 during their high school tenure. Students who have earned cum laude honors, please stand and be recognized. Students wearing a silver ribbon with a silver medal are recognized as graduating magna cum laude and have achieved a grade point average of 3.75 to 3.899 during their high school tenure. Students who have earned a magna cum laude honors, please stand and be recognized. Finally, students wearing a gold ribbon and a gold medal are recognized as graduating summa cum laude and have achieved a grade point average of 3.90 to 4.0 during their high school career. Students who have earned summa cum laude honors, please stand and be recognized. At this time, I would like to invite our Norris School Board President, Mrs. Patty Bensinger, and Assistant Principal, Mr. Charlie Hutzler, to the stage. Madam President, the Norris class of 2019 has successfully completed all of the graduation requirements set forth by your Board of Education and the Department of Education of the state of Nebraska. It is therefore my very great honor and privilege to present the class of 2019 to you to receive their diplomas. Seniors, will the first row please rise and move to the stage to receive your diploma. Families, friends, and Norris community, we respectfully ask that you hold your applause until all of the graduates have been announced. Taylor Ann Adams. Daniela Amaro. Macy Miriam Andre. Quade Bryson Anthony. Caden John Argo. Megan Joe Alman. Tristan Paul Beatty. Cassandra Marie Barber. Annika Faith Bergren. Tira Joy Bergren. Jocelyn Faith Burt. Harrison Henning Bowe. Tana Elizabeth Bond. Christopher Wallace Boone. Michaela Mary Boone. Lauren Lee Borer. Elizabeth Cheryl Bowman. Tegan Bailey Bryson. Carter Andrew Bernheide. Peyton Rose Buss. Hunter August Joseph Carlson. Perrin Wesley Carpenter. Glenn Thomas Catt. Naya Dunsing Chambers. Tanner Levi Chambers. Jacob Robert Chips. Rebecca Allison Clark. Alexander Floyd Colgan. Chloe Ann Davis. Hayden Allen DeBoer. Amanda Lynn Dewey. Harrison Rowe Donovan. Dawson Mackenzie Dorn. Noah Paul Dorn. Gavin Robert Dowding. Kyle Daniel Duke. Austin James Dunn. Madison Elizabeth Duran. Alexi Christine Emerson. Megan Adele Essing. Cade Ethan Fankhauser. Wyatt Joseph Foz. Bailey Jean Fortune. Kylie Marie Gaina. Mikhail Joseph Gollin. Keegan Michael Garacki Johnson. Robert Wesley Goslin. Alicia Marie Gottwald. Grant Michael Golden. Avery Rose Hadley. Gage David Hansmeyer. Caitlin Ann Harvey. Lynn Curry Hasselbeck.
Thank you.
Richard Dean Hausner. Lauren K. Hablett. Colson Dean Hesterman. Cassidy Mackenzie Hogan. Paulina Jessica Hawley. Sawyer Horning Shear. Alex J. Hunter. Adam Lee Ideas. Blake William Johnson. Simon Matthew Johnson. Davian Mendez Jones. Denise Leanne Kapke. Jenna Brianne Curbs. McKenna Dawn Kirkhoff. Timothy Dale Kissling. Callie Jane Nolenberg. Jaden Logan Knudsen. Jonathan Andrew Cruzy. Anastasia Lee Kruger. Chandler Lou Cook. Colton James Larson. Olivia Elaine Lentfer. Sophie Jane Lavorne. Harper Ray Lund. Caden Nicholas Martin. Callie Joe Martin. Emily Ann Mason. Jacob Allen Mason. Morgan Louise Bond McCain. Trevor Allen McDonald. Bryce Michael McGill. Sean Michael Meister. Evan Daniel Melcher. Cassandra Jean Meyer. Sierra Virginia Meyer. Madeline Terrence Meyer. Riley Ashlyn Miller. Kate Rianne Millington. Kixton Trey Misko. Carson Lee Monholland. Haley Shea Morrison. Aiden Patrick Morrow. Abigail Lynn Morse. Cassandra Ann Morse. Emily Ann Nelson. Zoe Nicole Nielsen. Carson William Noren. Connor Norman Noren. Nuruddin Nuili. Kelsey Ellen Novak. Joseph Elliott Osborne. Aubrey Nicole Pardee. Benjamin Orion Parks. Kaya Monet Marie Peterson. Wyatt James Pickett. Michaela Sierra Plachek. Stefan Isaiah Pamizel. Riley Marie Post. Kyle Adam Polson.
Thank you very much.
Autumn May Prothman. Lane James Rostad. Madeline Claire Ramsey. Taylor Marie Reimers. Jacob Gavin Robertson.
Thank you.
Taylor Alexis Roney. Mackenzie Marie Roy. Lauralee Ann Schroeder. Samuel Raymond Schuster. Skylar Samuel Schwaninger. Zachariah Andrew Cerna. Nicholas Dean Cipher. Harrison William Shea. Jacob John Scretta. Rose Sonnenfeld. Tyler Eugene Sorensen. Emily Grace Spalding. Peyton Bree Spicer. Caleb Jeffrey Stedman. Courtney Rose Stenwall. Nathan Lloyd Sturts. Dylan John Strain. Lydia Marie Tigerstrom. Aisha Renee Tiedemann. Janae Noel Tilford. Ivan D. Torres. Gracie May Vandegreen. Rayana Lynn Vierkant. Michael Thomas Walsh. Odyssey May Wentz. James Carl Whiting. Peyton Arnita Weeding. Clayton Michael Williams. Brennan Wayne Wright. Haley Ann York. Morgan Ann Zock. Anastasia Marie Zinneker. Graduates, you may now move your tassels across your mortarboard. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the graduated class of 2019. On behalf of the entire Norris School District, we thank you for attending the 2019 commencement ceremony and invite you to join your graduates on the floor for photos, fellowship, and celebrating their accomplishments. Thank you, and please drive safely.